Welcome to Shocker Gaming, your look into the crazy world of competitive gaming and Shocker Esports. In this episode, we start with the basics of esports, then we take an in-depth look at the Shocker Esports organization, then finally, we're going to check out one of the most popular esports games in the competitive scene currently, which is Rocket League. But first, what is esports? What makes a game an esports game? And what does it take to compete? Let's dive deep into the ins and outs of esports.
Esports is competitive gaming. It's just like any other sports. You have the teams, the rivalries, the audience.
It's basically the same idea as any competitive sport that we have nowadays, just with video games instead of a regular traditional sport. The main difference is that you don't necessarily need to be physically fit in order to be able to participate. A lot of things come more based on reaction times and things like that. So it's a whole new branch of athleticism without being different in any way than regular sports. Most esports players do consider themselves athletes because they practice the exact same amount of time as any other traditional sport.
Like, you don't have to be a major gamer to enjoy esports, just like you don't have to be a football star to enjoy football. The thing that makes them esports titles above any other game, first off, is the competitive nature of the game. Every single one of them has two groups of players playing against each other, and they're trying to test their skills and trying to better the other team. On top of that, there's always extra depth to every single game. Overwatch and League, for example, have just a variety of characters that you need to choose from, and each one of them has a specific skill set that no other character brings to the table. Rocket League, on the other hand, is a bit more skill-based or knowing the physics of the game. Smash Brothers is a bit closer to a fighting game. There are still characters in Smash Brothers, but every single character isn't really that strategically placed, but it is skill-based as well. Knowing what combos you can use, knowing how fast you can execute those combos, etc. What makes esports an esport is how deep the game can go, as well as playing against another team competitively.
5 years ago, do you even know what esports was? No one knew. Now, it's basically a staple. ESPN is broadcasting it now. I think now, esports is here to stay.
Up next, we're going to jump headfirst into the competitive gaming scene right here at WSU with an in-depth look at the Shocker Esports organization.
Shocker Esports is a gaming group that is wanting to bring esports into WSU.
We've been around for a long time, changing names, various things here and there. But in terms of what Shocker Esports is, it's a group devoted to trying to make esports a more serious and legitimate thing on the WSU campus as it is becoming nation and worldwide.
The games we participate in now are League of Legends, Overwatch, Rocket League. Right now, League of Legends is the biggest game. It's played all throughout the world. Overwatch is starting to become really, really popular as well. And our Rocket League team has started to do really well recently, even though it's pretty newly developed as well.
We started out as, I think, WSU StarCraft. We wanted to be competitive, but mostly they did StarCraft at the time. When I joined, I think was the first semester they changed their names to Wichita Esports. Wichita Esports was a thing for a while. Some of my closest friends I actually met through there. We were that for a fair amount of time, and then eventually we switched to Shocker Esports. And Shocker Esports is what we have been for 2 years now, I think.
You don't have to join a team to join Shocker Esports per se. All you got to do is kind of try to be part of the community on a regular basis. All you got to do is find me, the president, or anybody, and say, hey, I'm interested in joining Shocker Esports. And 80% of the time we're going to tell you, oh, okay, well, we hold meetings every Tuesday at 6 over at the EEB, or you can find us at the EEB on the second floor playing video games all the time. You can come hang out with us and etc. We're hoping to become a recognized organization in the college. We're hoping to one day in the either far off or hopefully distant future to have like whole tournaments and stuff hosted within the college. Something like setting up in Coke Arena and like having just a visiting college and our college play and having the big screen and having them see like, oh my God, they're making this giant play. Oh my God, they're pushing the pick. Oh my God, they're doing whatever. Lucio booped like Reinhardt and Winston off of the edge of the cliff. Something like that, where people could come in, they can just enjoy watching others play the game, and they'd be like, hey, maybe I could do that too. Maybe we can play in the EEB with the rest of the professional teams and maybe have scholarships or whatever. Something that makes us more recognized And that kind of solidifies esports as something that can compete with other sports as well.
Finally, let's look at one of the most popular esports games being played right now. Rocket League is a new twist on one of the world's most popular sports, and it's taking the gaming scene by storm.
So Rocket League is a physics-based game that you kind of use cars for soccer.
It's very strategic. As far as like the ways people play it, it's very new.
On the edge of the map, there are 4 huge boosts where you can collect and it gets you 100 boosts. And little small boosts that are like scattered across the map will give you like 12. And if you pick up those boosts, it's going to be like a huge speed boost. Super advantage.
If you're just starting Rocket League, I'd say really focus on the basics. That's what a lot of people really miss out, especially even at the higher level. They miss the basics, and so they're weak on their defense, they're weak on their offense, and the only times you really need to use these crazy tricks is when you fail to get a good defense going.
So one of the most important but like not focused on is rotations. A lot of people, when they play Rocket League, they don't do proper rotations. There always has to be at least one person back or someone on their way back whenever you go for attacking play, because you leave your net like wide open, they can take a long shot. Those are the most punishing ways to take a loss. I guess people don't really focus so hard on the mechanical aspect of Rocket League. They think of more of the strategy based, but I feel like a lot of people, when they first start out, there's a huge learning curve and they kind of like stop playing it because it's so difficult in the very beginning. It's almost as if you're pre-programming your brain to like do something completely different. So I would advise like continuously playing after you start playing Rocket League, even though it's going to get difficult.
I believe the future would be, looking for more competition, just more practicing and just getting better at the game as a whole. I think that would let us go really far in these next competitions.
Thanks for watching Shocker Gaming. If you want to keep supporting the show, make sure you follow Wichita State TV on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe to WSU TV on YouTube. Also, if you want to support Shocker Esports, make sure you come out to Century 2 on June 1st to 3rd at Wichita Gaming Arena. Until next time, gamers, play on.